The rain fell in heavy sheets as Nathaniel drove his rusty pickup truck through the winding forest road. Thunder crackled in the sky above, and the headlights barely pierced the thick mist that coiled between the trees. He glanced at the GPS. On his phone, which blinked uncertainly before freezing, the signal was gone. He sighed and leaned forward, squinting through the fog. Then he saw Overtaken Gate, half open, with ivy choking its structure. Beyond it loomed the silhouette of a massive, decaying mansion. Nathaniel had been hired to inspect the property for a wealthy investor interested in turning old estates into boutique hotels. This mansion, known as the Blackwood Estate, had been abandoned for over 40 years. The townsfolk had many names for it: the Devil's Den, the Widow's Watch, and most famously, the Haunted Mansion. With a flick of his hand, Nathaniel pushed open the gate, which groaned like a wounded beast. The gravel path leading up to the mansion was overgrown, and the massive oak trees surrounding the property seemed to lean in, whispering secrets to one another. The mansion itself was 3 stories of crumbling stone and shattered windows. The grand doors were slightly ajar. As he stepped onto the porch, the wood creaked under his weight. He hesitated for a moment, then pushed the door open. The air inside was heavy with dust and mold. The grand foyer, once majestic, now lay in ruin. A massive chandelier dangled precariously from the ceiling, and a red carpet faded to brown led to a twin staircase that spiraled upward on both sides. As Nathaniel stepped further in, the door slammed shut behind him. He jumped, turning quickly. No wind, no drafts, just silence. He pulled out his flashlight and scanned the room. Portraits hung crookedly on the walls, their eyes seeming to follow him. One painting, in particular, caught his attention. It was of a woman with pale skin, black eyes, and long dark hair. Her expression was cold, almost accusing. The plaque beneath read, "Lady Eleanor Blackwood, minus 1872. Nathaniel's radio crackled. "Base to Nathaniel, come in." He grabbed it. "Quickly, this is Nathaniel. I've arrived at the mansion. Looks like a storm knocked out the signal." Static answered him, followed by a faint whisper. His blood turned cold. He adjusted the frequency. Nothing. Determined to complete his task, he began the inspection. The kitchen was filled with rusted utensils and broken china. Rats scurried in the corners. Upstairs, he found bedrooms with antique furniture covered in white sheets. But there was something wrong. Every mirror in the house was shattered. Every single one in the master bedroom. He noticed a diary on the bedside table. Its leather cover was worn, but the pages were surprisingly intact. He flipped through and read a few entries. The last one was dated October 31st, 1883. "He is coming. Again tonight. The rituals must stop. I hear the whispers even when I sleep. Mother says the house is alive. I believe her now. Eleanor has locked herself in the tower. I fear we are not alone." Nathaniel felt a chill pass through him. He looked around and suddenly noticed a door behind the velvet curtains at the far end of the room. It was narrow, almost hidden. He opened it and discovered a spiraling staircase leading upward. With flashlight in hand, he climbed. The air grew colder with each step. At the top was a circular room, the tower. Moonlight spilled through broken windows. In the center was a dusty chair, and on it lay a skeleton dressed in a tattered black gown. He gasped and stepped back. On the wall behind the skeleton, the words were scratched in a frenzy. "She never left. Neither will you." Suddenly, the door slammed shut. He turned and pulled at it, but it wouldn't budge. Then came the footsteps, soft at first, then louder. From the shadows emerged the woman from the painting linen. Her black eyes glistened, her mouth twisted in rage. "Why have you come?" she whispered. Nathaniel stammered, I'm just here to inspect. I didn't mean ... She raised her hand, and the walls shuddered. Paintings fell from the walls downstairs. The chandelier in the foyer crashed. To the ground, screams echoed from the floor below. "You cannot take it," she hissed. "This house is bound to the blood of its dead." Suddenly, Nathaniel was thrown back against the wall. He blacked out. When he awoke, he was on the floor of the foyer. Hours had passed. The sun was beginning to rise through the stained glass. Windows. He stood up, aching all over, and made his way to the door. This time, it opened. He stumbled outside, gasping for air. The gate was closed, but unlocked. As he walked toward it, he turned for one last look, in the third-story window. The shadow of a woman stood still, watching him. He left Blackwood Estate and never returned. Years later, the mansion was purchased by another investor, but renovations never began. Every worker hired to clean the house disappeared. One by one, locals say Lady Eleanor still walks the halls, still watches the doors, and still waits.